guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be reacting to a video called The Most Badass Driver of All Time. This is from a channel called Rick's F1 Addiction. So obviously Formula 1, who's the baddest driver? I have no idea. I don't know if there's a consensus between Formula 1 fans. So let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe. Who does he look?
Is it this?
Oh, well, you know what?
Sid from Ice Age.
He's-
Probably one of the
he does
stinkiest
resemble
characters
him.
I've ever seen. But
Tiny
take this
bit.
sloth right here, drag him into the pinnacle of motorsports, and you get one of the most badass drivers of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Max Emilian Verstappen.
It's funny because
Yep, that's him right there.
He
Now,
doesn't
despite how
look
much I
like
love to mention that Max looks exactly like Sid, he is definitely one of the coldest
exactly,
F1
but
drivers
there's a
out there.
resemblance
Now, of course,
there.
the competition is just as fierce with drivers like Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, my personal GOAT Fernando, and 2021 world champion Nicholas Latifi. But the reason why Max stands out so much in terms of being one of the most
did he kick the tire?
champion Nicholas Latifi, but the reason why Max stands out so much in terms of being
I'm sorry, that's really funny to me, not because it's a childish thing. I'm not saying like sometimes you just want to do this, but I'm surprised that sort of professional drivers like do this as well because it's such a like common thing. But it's like, oh, I would have thought that at this level in your life, if you're an F1 driver, you've kind of gotten over those kind of things. But no, apparently you don't. You're still a human being.
of the most badass drivers of all time is because this man has been batshit insane in both impressive
It's a late launch by Verstappen, who takes the lead of the race.
and also heart-stopping
Calm down.
ways.
Down the inside,
Oh.
they have crashed. They've gone into each other.
And there were the two Red Bull cars.
And what stands out the most about Max is that he's always been like this since day one of his career. In his debut with Red Bull in 2016, he won his first race with them.
Oh, the debut.
Unbelievable, Max.
What, and
Then
was
the
that
same season, he overtook Nico Rosberg
Okay, so it is
beautifully in
F1.
Sao Paulo.
Because I know there's maybe like a youth level. It's probably not called a youth level, but I would assume it's like F3, F2, F1. And I don't know if Red Bull also has cars in like in the F3 circle. I don't know, like the youth circuit. I don't know how it works. Or they just do F1, which is like, I would assume like the pinnacle of, of F1. Well, of course it's F1. But again, it's like this type of car. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly.
Boy just goes and finds grip everywhere else. Okay, you're going there. I'll just
It
go
was
somewhere
raining?
else then.
Pulled off miraculous saves in the West.
See anything? Like I'm not seeing anything. How they can see something?
And was
Ah,
performing just as well compared to his more experienced teammate Daniel Ricciardo. And it gets even
So he's
better
the
when
other
you
Red Bull
realize
guy.
that Max did all of that before even getting his driver's license. My guy was breaking ankles in an F1 car before even being allowed to drive a
because he's not. He was younger than 16. Oh no, because it's in Europe, so it's 18. So he did this before 18. So there's not like a youth category here. You just like they throw you out of the wolves when you're like what? Can you be 15 and drive an F1 car? Who knows? But apparently, maybe at least 16. I would assume you need to be at least 16, but who knows?
fucking Honda Civic. However, during this time, Max still had weaknesses, such as being
I doubt that Verstappen is driving a Honda Civic in his daily life, but
overly
okay.
aggressive on track and defending like he's being held at gunpoint, which
Shouldn't you
pissed
be-
off one of the cleanest drivers on the grid, Kimi Räikkönen.
Well, I don't want to be sandwiched. That's the only.
You don't know what about
Kimmy.
Oh.
I don't want to be hit.
But as Max matured over the years, he started to cook. Heck, he started to bake, roast, and
Oh,
toast.
like metaphorically. No, doesn't actually. He's cooking.
Oh, I think I just shit myself.
In 2022 and 2023, Max was such a fast driver, and paired with the RB18 and RB19, he
Is that the
scored
car?
enough points each year which would allow him to win both Constructors' Championships by himself. But
Wait. How many points did he
each
have?
year which would allow him to win both
Wait, but the points up to the Austrian. Okay, so he was Red Bull was okay, like double, more than double.
Constructors'
I think. More
Championship
than double.
by himself. But fast forward to
Second place.
2024, Red Bull has not been so good. The team is in shambles, one of their drivers are busy doing donuts, and most importantly,
What do
the
you mean
RB20
donuts?
went from a fighter jet in the first 10 races to a fucking Airbus. But despite that,
Why does that kind of thing happen? Like the car, like it's still the same car. So what does happen? The other cars just get better, or just your car suddenly decides not to function function anymore because I doubt that.
Red Bull is still a competitive team, and the reason why is because Max Verstappen is
they have a
driving
great
one of their
driver.
cars. Whenever the team has a bad weekend where the car isn't at its best, Max would always make up for its deficit by doing something called overdriving.
What on
For
earth is
example,
this
Miami
here?
2024. In the race, Max did not have the best setup. Then he got heavy floor damage where his top speed dropped to the gates of hell. And then gets ass
Rewind. What? Okay, so it's bad. They're all like in the 300 kilometers per hour. Like I still believe 318. That's good, but no, if your greatest competitor is doing like 361, maybe it was himself. Like it was the car. Like I did with 350. Of course, if you do barely like over 300, it's gonna be bad.
his top speed dropped to the gates of hell. And then gets ass fucked by the safety car, but still he managed
The
to
safety car
secure
was
P2.
going faster?
Max was
That's
such
crazy.
a good driver that he even has team principles acting up.
You know his tidiest up around here. Look well balanced for Verstappen, but what a
And I don't even blame Toto here because Max could put a Sauber in the top
Toto?
10, and that car is so bad that if you replaced it with a steamroller, it would probably score the exact same amount of points. And just to
Why
give
do
you
they-
an even clearer
why do
picture of
they
just how
still have the
fast
car,
Max
then?
really is, his overdriving can be so good that it's actually capable of blinding Red Bull from their own flaws. From all the way back in 2020, Red Bull admitted that Max drove the RB16 like it was a turbocharged Honda,
Isn't that good?
that the team ignored the car's flaws for almost the entire season.
Okay, that's
and
bad.
this year again,
Well, but and he won that season. It was it can't be that bad if I'm like winning constantly.
Horner admitted that Red Bull's issues in 2024 stemmed all the way back from Barcelona 2023, but they ignored it because Max kept winning races.
Thinking about some underwear change. Am I right, lady?
Yeah, on one hand, of course, it's bad, but on the other, like if you start to think this through, I mean, if it ain't broke, you ain't fix it, right? So yeah, technically the car's broken, but if like you have such a great driver still giving you results, I think I would do the same thing. I would be scared of jinxing it. I would be like, no, do not fix the car. Like I'm driving perfectly fine with it.
Please?
I cannot believe that Max was so fast that he's actually partially responsible for...
Wait, what? He was driving a tractor? Oh, it's a Red Bull
I
tractor.
cannot believe that Max was so fast
Can you
that
do
he's
this?
actually partially responsible for making Red Bull slower. You cannot make that shit up. But not gonna lie, it's more of the team's fault. Because if
do you
you
mean
know your
make it-
driver is
what?
capable of blinding you from your problems, why would you choose to do nothing about it? Like, Red Bull actually doesn't deserve Max, man. These guys can...
Again, like, why would I do it? If I'm Red Bull, I'm thinking, this guy's winning with a bad car. I'm not gonna fix the car. What happens if I fix it and then he starts driving poorly? I mean, I guess maybe not. Like your logic tells you, no, if we fix the car, he's gonna go faster. Although I'm of the sense, like, who knows? There's like some magic happening there, something that you can't really get. No, it's not a tangible thing that you can actually put your fingers on. So I would be scared of like doing something and messing the whole thing, and then he like all of a sudden like the car's great, but for some reason he starts driving really slow. So honestly, I would have done the same thing. I would have said, yeah, let him drive this car. It's awful, but he's winning, so...
genuinely be so fucking brain dead that they don't want to double check their fucking cars just because one of their drivers are winning.
But Peter, why would they make you president?
Well, maybe it's because I can recite all 50 states in a quarter of a second.
And thanks to the ignorance from Red Bull, in 2024, the RB20 can sometimes be so bad on a race weekend that Max can't overdrive to save it, which is a very big problem. But instead,
course he
what
can,
Max
yes.
does is that if someone's right behind him in a race and he can't extract any more pace from the car, he decides to drive to the absolute limit of not just the RB20, but also the rules.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? It's what I would do if I were a race car driver. It's like, well, I have to push everything to the limit because otherwise, like, who knows what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna lose. So if the alternative is maybe again you have like nothing to lose in a way, because if you are if you're playing by the rules and everything, again if you have something to lose, I think there's still like some risk level involved. However, once like things go out of the window and you're thinking, well, if I'm losing anyway because I'm already like the car's not catching up with me and what I want to do, well, I have no other choice. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? That I mess and I still lose? Like, who cares? I'm still gonna take the chance.
Which can sometimes go like this.
Verstappen over the hill, comes wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton, round the outside of turn
Wait. I have to rewind this. Okay, so he's the one on the left.
20, but also the rules, which can sometimes go like this.
Verstappen over the hill.
Okay.
Comes wheel to
Okay,
wheel with
okay.
Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of turn one he goes.
Oh my god.
Oh, they made contact. He's got a puncher. He's damaged
Don't-
his
don't
front
they-
wing. The leading contenders for the World Championship. What the fuck is that?
Wait, isn't that bad when you sort of like, well, you don't crash, technically you're not crashing the car, but if you touch the other car, isn't that a penalty? I mean, that's bad, right? I don't know if they give you a penalty, but I think it's bad, right? Or maybe it's not always bad, it depends whether or not the other car, and if the other car has to stop, I think maybe like they penalize you for this. I don't know what are the rules in F1.
What the fuck was that?
Max is a driver that if he doesn't have any more options, he tries to find loopholes in the F1 rulebook.
That's a
what
good
makes him
thing.
The driver that he is today.
Well, again, like it's good if you're like the audience, if it is good if you're Red Bull, and it is good if you're him. Probably not good if you're part of the F1, you know, international formula drivers, whatever. Like, yeah, of course they don't really like it. To like, obviously, the at a company level, and to like, I don't know, the entrepreneurs and whatever, like the investors, probably they don't. That's not a good thing. But like, if you're a Red Bull or whatever it is that that you know you have this driver, like, of course it's good for
He
you.
loves to gamble on these sort of
And if you're the audience as well, because it's giving you show, he's giving you something. So of course, like, it's good for
things,
me.
and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For example, it worked in Brazil 2021.
He's trying to take the lead from Verstappen, but he is forced one.
And most recently, Austin 2024, where Max placed his car beautifully on every corner, defending against Lando and using the rules to his advantage, where he defended going off, which was perfectly allowed by the F1 rulebook.
Okay, wait, what does it say, the rule
To
book?
his advantage, where he
I'm about to say
defended
there's a
going
rule
off,
book.
which was perfect.
Okay, Verstappen, who also left the track, was not penalized for pushing Norris to the outside. Okay, so you do get penalized. Verstappen was in the right as the defending car. Was in the right. Oh, he asked the defending car and did not have to give Norris room to pass, according to current racing standard guidelines. Okay, so he was in the right because he was the defending car. And of course, because you have to defend. Okay, I get it. If you're defending, of course, I don't have to like give the right of way to the other guy. No, I'm defending.
Allowed
Okay,
by
good.
the F1 rulebook. I don't know what the FIA was doing when they made this rule. I think they were smoking
Why?
a shit ton of fucking pot.
I
but
think
it
that's
is what it is.
perfectly-
And since Lando overtook Max off
Is that bad? To me, it makes perfect sense. Is it me that I'm crazy? I think it makes all the sense in the
track,
world.
he got a 5-second penalty, securing Max a podium. But an example for when it doesn't was in Mexico, where Max scared the shit out of Lando Norris twice and got sent to penalty heaven. Now, at first, you guys might
20 seconds. That's you know, it was
the
funny.
shit out of Lando Norris twice and got sent to penalty heaven.
20 seconds, that's a lot. That's, of course, like you're dead on arrival. It's like great. But this is what I mean. Sometimes, like, well, it doesn't pay off, but at least
Now,
I
at
have to
first,
try.
you guys might think that these are stupid and desperate moves by Max, but if you
They're
think
not.
about it, it really isn't. You see, in Mexico, if Max crashes with Lando and they're both out of the race, no one scores points and the championship gap stays the same. And if they don't
is that
crash,
them?
Max defending that aggressively actually stopped Lando from winning that race. It's batshit insane, but
Okay, wait, one in there?
that aggressively actually stopped Lando from winning that.
Oh, well, it was him and the other the other guy. Okay, I know the others. Is that Ricardo?
That race. It's batshit
No, Fernando. That's Fernando Alonso.
insane, but genius at the same time. And this is what makes Max Max. He's a driver who's willing to do
Okay, I'm sorry, but this hair is distracting
but
me so
genius at the
badly.
same time. And this is what makes
Is this a wig? Or was this his hairstyle for a while? I'm so confused. It does look like a wig. I don't want to say anything. This is strange to me. This is all I'm gonna say about
Max.
it.
He's a driver who's willing to do whatever it takes to win. Whether you like it or not, he's gonna keep driving like that. Probably because he doesn't want to get the belt treatment from his dad, but you know, we don't
The belt treatment from his dad? Because the dad's the manager,
talk about
right?
that. Other than overdriving and using the rules to his advantage, what makes Max one hell of a driver is that he can also pull off amazing performances from all the way back on the grid. In 2022 Spa, he charged from P14 to P1 not even halfway through the race, and in Miami
How was the other people? What were the other drivers asleep?
2023,
Like, what?
he went from P9 to P1, and while he was at it, shattered Checo's hopes and dreams that season and career.
I'm about to end this man's whole
Career.
boom, bam.
Why? Why did career? Okay, wait. His career was over? What? Why?
But one that stands out the most is Brazil 2024, arguably one of the most beautiful Max Verstappen drives I think we've ever seen. And it's mainly because it was one of the biggest shit shows of a race weekend ever. The weather
I love that. It's like, oh, for me, amazing. Everyone crashed. It's like, okay, wait, what a great race. Everyone crashed
was
their
so
car.
bad in Sao Paulo that quali got delayed to race day. And when it eventually
was
began,
raining.
it was raining so hard that
still
almost
raining,
every
by the way.
single driver kissed the wall. And thanks to none other than Lance Strolovic, he brought out a yellow flag
Who's that guy?
compromising both Red Bull drivers, knocking them out in Q2. And Max also had a 5 grid place penalty to serve for switching engines in that race weekend. So he's gonna have to start in
Wait, because he switched. The penalties are crazy. What? A 5
grid
grid?
place penalty to serve for switching engines in that race weekend. So
Wait, you can't switch your engine? That's
so
bad.
he's gonna have to
I'm so
start in
confused by the rules.
P17 while Lando Norris was on pole. And as the race went on, it was just as chaotic. This is all the goofy shit that happened. Lance Stroll went off at the formation lap. The absolute baboon just had to do it. So the formation lap went on twice after an aborted start. Sergio Perez spun on the first lap. Alpine and V-Carb were fighting for the podium. Oscar Piastri went ass-kissing. So did Oliver Behrman. Lewis Hamilton looked like he was driving a boat.
Someone said to me, you change your mind like the weather, and I just thought to myself, what? I never changed my fucking mind then!
Franco Colapinto.
Wait, like a boat because he was going slow? Like it was because he was like sailing? Oh, leisurely pacing? Is that it?
Logan Sargent. Oliver Behrman went off again, and so did Carlos Sainz. But despite
I'm sorry, but like there's some like obviously like I can see the rain. I'm not blind. That if like so many cars are and so many drivers are crashing, rolling over, like the whole. I mean, doesn't that tell you maybe the race should have been stopped? It's like it's clearly the pavement. It's not on good driving conditions. Like everyone's like messing up.
The carnage that was going on, Max was just cruising.
Like, everyone's disqualified. It's like 10 cars. Oh well, I have to like only fight against I don't know 5 because there's only like 5 cars left in the race.
By lap 4, he was up to P10, and while everyone was being mauled by the weather, he was just climbing up.
Oh, it's up for him apparently.
Up. He pulled the same move he did on Nico in 2016, overtaking 3 cars in one
you can't see
corner,
anything.
overtook Lewis Hamilton, overtook Pierre Gasly, then Alonso, Piastri, and Lawson, and after Nico Hulkenberg spun out, Lando and George pitted, but then there was a red flag, and as all the cars went back to the pit lane, changed their tires and recharged, what do you know, Max was all the way up in P2 now. This guy,
all of a sudden he's like number 2.
The race was up in 2nd place, just behind Ocon's Alpine, which I'm pretty sure made it up there because the Alpine A524 is such a boat that it does well in wet weather. But as the race continued,
Okay. Yeah, but that's good, right? Yeah, my car's like a boat, but that means that I only win the races when there's like a lot of rain. I don't know how often it happens during the season. You just have to like pray to the rain gods to please make it rain. But I don't really understand why. Like, why would your car be better when you're driving under these conditions? Is it because of like the tires, the traction? I don't know. Maybe it's the driver. He's like, well, yeah, my spare time, I really like the ocean.
Lead of the race, and while he did that, Lando, no chances into turn 1, pulled a Lewis Hamilton 2021.
As Lando Norris has gone off the road, Hamilton's gonna get the lead.
Confused. Which car should I be
and
watching?
While he did that, Lando, no chances into turn 1, pulled a Lewis Hamilton 2021.
As Lando Norris has gone
off the road,
this one,
okay.
Gonna get the lead.
Lewis
Hamilton takes it away, but he locks on.
Oh!
And after Max took the lead, he just pumped out fastest lap after fastest lap.
Of course. I think it was good because basically there was still competition. He got rid of everyone.
This dude was...
It was the one that's going like,
Max
which one's number 9?
He just pumped out fastest lap after fastest lap. This dude
Norris,
was
Norris
every time. And by lap 69, Max won the race, crushed Lando's championship hopes, and secured his 4th title. What a drive. And as the cherry on top is that Max was literally against everyone coming into this race weekend. I made a video back then explaining
because of the weather conditions. I agree. Like, again, when the things are like going so poorly, like weather-wise, I think it's not just, it's dangerous, I think, for everyone involved. So I don't know what the International F1 Association, whatever they're called, says in this kind of case. Apparently, like the race was suspended a few times. But again, whether like even if it's like the third time we're trying to do this and still like the weather is not okay, just like suspend it until it's like sunny. Well, maybe not sunny, like it could be cloudy, but it's like a little bit of rain here and there. I don't think it matters, although in my opinion, well, I don't know how it is obviously when you're driving these kind of cars, but I think it's more dangerous to have, you know, a little bit of like rain that maybe like it's not soaping wet, you know, the pavement is just slightly damp and slightly a little bit wet. I think that's more dangerous for like usually that's more dangerous for cars than, you know, like insane weather, you know, insane like a rainstorm. Although of course, you know, that's under driving conditions, but also obviously if it's like that much rain, you can't see anything, you know, it's like, it's way too much rain. It's not dangerous as if because I'm like sliding over. It's dangerous because, you know, again, you're like, I can't see through my windshield. It's just too much rain. So I don't know. But again, this is like normal car driving. I don't know how it works when it's like F1 driving, but I would assume the stakes are much higher because you have to go 300 kilometers per hour. So again, shouldn't they suspend this? Isn't it dangerous for everyone?
How Max was at every disadvantage in the later stages of the 2024 season, being against McLaren, Ferrari, the FIA, Red Bull themselves, and yet in just
how can he be against his own car?
this
like
one
what?
race, after starting in P17, Max schooled Lando Norris,
Well, I have to like, I'm sorry, but it's Norris, like Lando, like who does he drive for? McLaren? Is that his company,
his
like his
team,
car?
schooled the FIA by having a 0 penalty race, and well, Ferrari just
Zero
kind of
penalty.
schooled themselves. Typical stuff. But you guys remember when Lando said this when he won the Dutch Grand
I'm sorry, it's crazy how Ferrari, it's like known for being like, think of a car brand, and everyone's like, Ferrari is like one of the more popular car brands, even if F1 and in the world, and they're such a joke in F1. It's so funny to me.
Simply lovely, huh?
Well, Max wasn't gonna let that slide, so he hit back saying this.
What an unbelievable race, guys. You know what that is? Simply lovely.
You don't have to be a Max fan to know that shit
Oh my god, okay, like that was a sick burn, I have to admit.
so fucking hard. But anyways, despite Max's amazing performances, obviously there will always be doubters like Lando Norris himself. He said after the race that Max's win was not talent, it's just luck.
That's life sometimes. You take a gamble, it's paid off for them.
Well,
it's not talent or, you know, it's just luck.
Now I'm sorry.
okay, I mean, yeah, of course the loser is gonna be like, it's just luck. I think there's a little bit of luck involved in this, but after you won like 1,000,000 times on 100 like championship, it's not luck, clearly. It's you're gonna be doing something right when you're driving. And of course, like, again, I would ask him if I were like Verstappen or whatever, I would ask him, how many championships do you have? How much? Oh, so luck is never on your
Lando,
side.
but I'm not with you on this one. Max did a phenomenal drive while you were driving
Of
off
course,
to the fucking
that's why he
Amazon
won.
rainforest. And honestly, can someone please get this man a PR team? Like, I am genuinely concerned for Lando. He keeps on saying
It's true. I didn't really know that they were so direct with each other, as in like, I hate this guy. It's like, oh, okay, so you can do that in this sports. Okay, I can. Sometimes I think there's some level of, I don't know, neutrality that maybe you have to like have. And it's obviously everyone knows it's a competition, obviously, but sometimes, again, you have to keep a little bit of the decorum and not just be like, this guy sucks. It's like, okay, well, apparently that flies out of the window. F1, they don't care. It's like, I hate this guy.
Things
okay,
he'll
cool.
end up regretting, and it's happened way too many times now for it to not be concerning. Like, I get it, Lando.
Okay, so he's so constantly putting like his foot in his mouth.
No, you might be
Lando.
frustrated, but what you pretty much just said was that your win in Miami was all luck and not talent.
Exactly.
And Max defended you on that.
You feel Lando also could have won the race without a free pit stop, given how quick he was on the hard tire.
It would have been tough. I would have had to overtake 2 Ferraris, Red Bull, Oscar.
Yeah, but I mean, it's always if, right? If my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so...
Like, come on, little Lando Norris. You are better than...
I'm sorry, is that another twist on the if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle? That's it.
Just
Is that the
please
thing,
stop
right?
talking out of your asshole for the sake of your own fans as well. But anyways, while all of that was happening, Alpine got a double podium finish that actually fixed Ocon and Gasly's relationship for once. Racing Bulls got a decent result,
so
and
they're
Sergio
constantly
Perez
hating on
couldn't
each other.
finish in the top 10. This man has had his confidence so destroyed that he hasn't had a top 5 finish from Miami all the way to Brazil. That's 16 fucking races. How? I am 90% sure Christian Horner is definitely enjoying that Mexican gyat, because if he can't go for his female co-workers anymore, he might as well be going for the male ones at this point. Change my mind. But now, since we've covered Max
Clearly,
having amazing
some
race
gossip that I
weekends,
lost.
what if he has a bad one? How is Max supposed to be a badass driver if things are clearly going to shit for him in both quali and the race? Well, obviously he isn't gonna be badass. No driver getting a DNF is gonna look cool, apart from Logan Sargent, of course. But what Max does is that he becomes Mad Max, a driver ready to cause the death of 20 kids if it means winning a race.
Well, I love that he
In
would
Hungary
want to do this.
2024, he crashed into Lewis, shat on his team that their strategist looked like she was gonna swim in tears. In 2018, he shoved Ocon and called him a pussy on live television.
Wait, they were fighting?
He was gonna swim in tears. In 2018, he shoved Ocon.
Oh my god, they can do this? Don't they get penalty? It's probably not, right? It happens. It didn't happen during the race, so technically
And called him a pussy on live television.
I don't really have a lot to say.
And he said it with his whole chest.
That he was being a pussy.
Called out the FIA for having their bullshit rule of banning swearing.
In other sports, you don't run around with a mic attached to you. I think a lot of people say a lot of bad things when they are full of adrenaline.
Raged in a game of Among.
No, but he has a point. Yeah, of course, if I have a mic on and I'm during the race, of course I'm going to be cursing. Of course, I have to take care of so many things. I'm already driving this car. Of course, this is stupid to think, oh, you can't swear. They're literally driving cars at insane speeds. Of course, they're going to be swearing. It's fine.
It's Max, Johnny. What? He did it right in front of me. He did it right in front of me. I'm gonna nuke Ireland. You fucking liar.
And funniest part is, Max has been like this since the day he was born.
He has
Whenever
an
this
attitude,
dude
but
gets
it's fine.
pissed, he gets real pissed.
Oh, he got mad. He was playing. Okay, so he was just playing a video game. Being super
But despite
upset.
most of that being funny, some people still don't like Max because of his temper. I personally like it, but obviously some people don't. But what still makes Max such a badass and likable driver at the same time is the fact that he doesn't give a shit. Every time Max is asked a question that he doesn't want to know about, he gives the most I don't give a fuck reaction. When he was asked if he cares about his legacy in F1, he said,
Not really.
when he was asked about his
He doesn't care about his legacy? That's insane. You should be caring about this. What? You're one of the most important drivers. Of course you care.
$50,000 fine for touching Lewis's rear wing, he said,
It's quite a big fine, so I hope they have a nice dinner and a lot of wine.
When asked about the FIA penalizing him for swearing, he said,
This FIA situation, you had to go, you've got some sort of community. No words.
And then my personal favorite, after
I
Max
don't
was
care.
booed for winning in Miami, this is how he...
Booed for winning? Wait, how you can get booed for winning? Oh, of course, because but I think in F1 is different. There's no a home team. Everyone's rooting for another person, another car. So how come they're booing you? What? There's not a local Miami team.
Responded.
It's absolutely fine as long as I stand on the top. That's for me the most important. I take the trophy home and they go back to their houses and they can have a nice evening.
I love it because it's true. It's I am going to go home with my trophy. I'm still going to be the champion. I'm still going to be one of the most important race car drivers in the world. What are you doing? You just come. You're just a loser, basically. So.
And when Lando said simply lovely
That's
after
true.
winning in Max's home race, NASCAR driver Kyle Larson saying that he's better than Max, the media asking him if he would change his driving style after getting penalized in races, Max responded to all of these, saying, I don't care. What a Chad.
Correct.
So in conclusion,
I like it because it's very I don't care. Who's this guy? I don't even know who that guy
Max Verstappen
is.
in his time in F1 has carried Red Bull, made his car seem so fast his own team ignored its flaws, destroyed his teammates' confidence, made comeback drives from bumfuck nowhere, gave us entertaining battles, made not a single mistake in a heavily unpredictable wet track numerous times in his career, and doesn't give a shit. Now, I have never been a Max fan, but he is easily what I'd say the most badass driver of all time. Max Verstappen is is one of a kind, and there's never gonna be another one like it. Except maybe for Kimi Räikkönen's kid, Robin Räikkönen, who went from 22nd to 2nd in his first ever karting championship. Only time will tell what this version of Max Verstappen will look like in the future. But this time, minus the beatings in the gas stations, of course.
Unbelievable, Max. Unbelievable. Max Verstappen, you are a race winner. Fantastic. What a great debut.
Thank you very much, Christian.
What a week it has been for Max Verstappen.
Yeah, I think like I came back from this video being like Verstappen's #1 fan. Yeah, so I'm here for the fan club. I think it's great. I love his attitude. I don't know why people are not fans of like that kind of attitude. But I think if you're like he's not your friend, so I don't know how he is in his personal life. But whatever, like, don't you want, your race car drivers and your F1 drivers to, like, be entertaining, to give you, like, something? If you're, like, a boring person when it comes to sports, I mean, not that it is about it. Obviously, it's about, like, how good you are, but that's obviously, that's a given. He's won the championship like a million times. So, of course, he's one of the greatest, like, race car drivers, of course, again. But personality, for like personality's sakes, and how like attractive you are, I think, for the normal people, and how many fans you have. I mean, seeing this, he probably doesn't really care. He's like, I don't care if I have fans. I don't care if people like me or not. I don't really care. Which I think is like a very brave thing. Of course, then that's how it should be. I think especially at that level, when you're that famous, I think there's gotta be like the validation has to come from within. Obviously, it has to come from within for normal people as well. But I think for normal people, I think it's a little bit easier to do this, just because again, you're just a random person. But I think for them at this level, they're so incredibly famous, they're so incredibly talented, that I think like it's gotta be a really hard thing to do, like to do this and be, I do not care. Validation comes from within. I don't care if I have fans, if people like me, they don't like me. I couldn't care less, which I love that kind of attitude. That's exactly how it should be. But that's, that's the thing, that if by saying that and by saying that you don't really care, it's, I think, what makes it, I think what makes him likable in a way, at least to me. It's like, yeah, I know that he doesn't really care, and I think that makes it like more likable to me. It's like, yeah, I love the idea. I think because once you remove the whole, he wants to be likable, of course, like he's just being himself, which I love. He has like I think it's very direct, which I think it's good. And again, if I'm thinking as the audience, I think like he's giving me a lot of things, so if I have to follow him, I know that there's always going to be something, there's always going to be a funny comment or something, he's going to be direct, he's going to speak his mind, which is exactly, like, that's why I follow, like, I don't know, maybe I should follow, like, famous people, is because they are like that. They don't give you, like, cookie cutter answers, which I like. The other, although maybe that's not a thing in F1, because given it was Lando Norris, the one that apparently also speaks his mind very freely. It's okay. So apparently in F1, you just like they don't have PR. They don't really have that. Oh, I'm happy for my teammate. I'm sad that I lost. No, they're like literally, I don't care. I am so upset that I lost. They really, because I think even in like football or other sports, like the athletes are a little bit more. I feel sad, or whoever like wins, it's gonna be it's a lot of like luck involved and talent. So, but they don't really. There's, I think, rare for someone to be like, I really won this, or the other team actually sucked, and this is why we won. But in this case, I think in F1 people don't care. They're just like, he sucked in this race. So again, maybe it's like people are more direct there. So I like that. It's as a general rule, directness and honesty always a good policy. Well, sometimes, a lot of times, maybe not always, but in this case, absolutely does. The other thing that I will say though, is that I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think I agree with almost everything he has said. I agree with it's, yeah, sure, like I'm on your side always, me after seeing one video. But I will say the one thing that I absolutely agree that I think it's insane is that the Formula One International Association, however it is they're called, the fact that they're trying to ban or penalize you for swearing, I think it's an insane thing. Because he has a great point, is that in other sports, people don't have mics. They just give their statements, and their press conference. early once the game has has ended or before it starts. They don't really, you're not mic'd during the whole game. Like during a tennis match, it's not as if people can hear you when you're swearing, insulting a teammate, insulting whatever, insulting the world. They don't really hear you. So, and even in football, just the same, either whether that's soccer or American football. So I think in that scenario, I do believe that F1 is like the only one sport when you're actually competing, you have a mic. So of course, what kind of a trust? I mean, there's like so many people that of course like they're swearing, they're saying awful things because of course they're all competing because you are in a competitive like sport, in a competitive environment. It says so in the name. Everyone's gonna be saying awful things, obviously, insulting everyone, swearing, saying whatever things that probably they don't really mean. It's in the heat of the moment. But, the difference is that in other sports, nobody really hears you. Unless, of course, maybe your teammates hear you, but obviously, like, it's fine. But then in this case, yeah, of course, like, I have to maintain, what are you telling me? I have to, like, maintain my decorum while I'm trying to, like, drive this car. Going as fast as I can, trying to overtake the other, and there's rain, and there's like, of course not. It's allowed for them to swear and to insult other people, whoever. I think they all know whatever. I wonder if they apologize like later on after the race is over, and they go like, sorry about the things I said. I didn't really mean any of that. It's like, well, I meant it right where you're not getting the heat of the moment, but right now, thinking about it like in the cold, I'm like, you know what? I kind of like, of course, I don't really think that about you. So I wonder if they apologize if they insult each other when they're in the track, because it's, again, if I were a race car driver, I would understand this. I absolutely understand. I would also be insulting you, but everything's fine after the race is finished. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they want to ban swearing or something, or they want to penalize the drivers. Let them swear. It's fine. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!